Now that we have the Perplexity node connected and the workflow set up, we're going to go ahead and test it. So I'll go in here and I'll say, find me 3 articles on how using AI can save time during the workday. And what it's going to do is it's going to talk to the agent, and then it's going to talk to Perplexity. And basically it's just researching and scraping the internet, trying to find those articles that are specifically relevant to what I just asked it to find. And so now it's done, and we'll go and look at the output. And as you can see, it found me 3 articles that are exactly related to what I asked. So the first one is AI saves workers an average of 1 hour per day. And this is from October 2024. And then it gives a little summary, and it actually gives a link to the article. So you could go in and select this. We'll copy it, paste it to a new browser, and it's going to take you directly to the article that it got you. So we'll hit accept. And as we can see, exactly what we asked. AI saves workers an average of 1 hour each day. And we can go and we can read this article. And what this is going to do is whatever the input is, whatever your specific parameters are, it's going to pull articles exactly aligned with those parameters. So a couple of these are from 2024, but I could say, find me articles that are more recent, and it's going to find articles from 2025. So you can really set it up to be as specific as you want, but as you can see, this agent does all the research for you. So now I'll show you how to set this up from scratch. So before we do anything in here, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your server is up to date. So to do this, you just go to app.n8n.cloud/manage, and it's going to take you to this spot. And this is your workspace under workspace settings. And you'll see down here where it says n8n version, you're probably going to be on this, which is latest stable. And in order to access the Perplexity node, you want to be on this, the latest beta. So we'll just click that, and then you'll go down and you'll hit save changes. I'm already on it, so it's grayed out, but that's how you're going to do that, and you will be upgraded to the latest workspace. And from there, the next thing you want to do is make sure you have a Perplexity account, and you need to be on the Pro account to access this. And once you're in here, all you do is you go down to here, you go down to settings, and then what you want is the API keys. I'm not going to click it because it'll show my API keys, but you'll just click this, and then you'll input them in the Perplexity node within n8n, which I'll show you right now. Back in n8n now, and I'll show you the workflow setup. First, we're going to do a chat trigger. So this is just going to trigger it upon a chat. Then we're going to connect the agent. Then we're going to connect our OpenAI chat model. And then next, we're going to connect the Perplexity node. And again, this will only show up if you're on the latest version. And so we can see it here. We're going to connect. And I already have it connected, but what you're going to do is hit create new credential, and then you'll just paste in your API keys from Perplexity here, and then you'll be good to go. There's a couple different settings in this node that you should know about. The first one is tool description, and just like the agent, you can set this automatically or you can do it manually. If you have specific parameters or something specific in mind that you want this to act as, then you can set that as manually. We're going to do automatic for now. You can always set specific parameters here if you want. Then we have the operation, and we're going to do message a model. You could do custom API call if that's what you want to do. But we're just going to message the model for this example. Then for the actual model, there's a couple different options in here. I'm going to use Sonar because that's kind of the most basic one, but you could also do Sonar Deep Research, which is basically like ChatGPT's deep research model, if you want to get a little bit more granular, but we're just going to go with Sonar. Text, I'll show you what to do with that in a second. And for role, there's a couple different options down here. Assistant is basically telling the model to adopt a specific tone or personality, must alternate with user messages. System is set the model's behavior or context, must come before user and assistant messages, and then users send a message as a user and get a response from the model. We're just going to use user for this example. Feel free to choose which one makes the most sense for you. And so we're going to go back out before we do anything for text, and we're going to go ahead and try to run this node. So we're going to say pull 3 articles. I'll say pull 3 recent articles about how AI is replacing jobs. And it's going to go ahead and try to run, and you'll see in a second we get this error from Perplexity. And the reason for that is we're going to go ahead and open it up, and it's because of this. There's nothing in the text. You can set fixed text, but we want an expression. And so we're going to go over here to mapping, and all you're going to do is drag and drop the chat input JSON. And so what that's going to do is tell it to pull context from the previous chat node, which will then complete this workflow and allow it to work properly. So now let me ask it again. I'm going to say pull 3 recent articles, can't spell, on how AI is replacing jobs in the workspace. So now when it tries to run, you'll see that it's going to get a success message from the Perplexity node. And that's, again, because it actually has the context that it needs to pull those articles. So scraping the internet, and there we can see that it worked. It's going to finish this out with the OpenAI model. and it's going to give us the output in just a second here. So I'll go ahead and let it run, and then I'll be back as soon as it's done. So it's done now, and we can see that it gave us here the recent articles detailing how AI is replacing jobs in the workspace, highlighting the scale, sectors, and implications of this trend. And remember, I asked it for recent articles because the last time it gave us articles from 2024, but depending on what you want, you might want more recent articles. And I included that in the chat input. And so now it's pulling stuff from 2025, which is more recent, more relevant. And so this first one is AI taking over jobs. What roles are most at risk in 2025? And it gives a summary again, and then it's going to give the link, and you can just click this, read more, and it takes you directly to the article. So this is a really good way to set up your own research agent, and you can do this for literally anything you can think of. Anytime you need to do some research, instead of just spending hours doing it yourself, no one wants to do that. You can just have AI do it for you. Just build this agent. It's super simple. It's literally just a couple nodes, and you just set the parameters, whatever you want it to pull, and it will do that exactly for you. And of course, you could build other agents on top of this. Like you could start with just this research node, and then you could feed that into other nodes that will then have other outputs specific to whatever it is you need. I'll build some other videos in the future showing how I would implement this into other workflows. But I just wanted to show how to actually connect this, how to get it set up, and how to use it from a high level overview today. So that's it for this video. If you got any value, I appreciate you liking, subscribing, commenting. Just let me know if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.